Welcome back to the Roadside Rescue YouTube channel. I'm Ernest, and this morning we're going to look at one of my longest standing customers' vehicles. When I first started my business, this kid went to school out here with me. He's now married and lives in a different town, but one of the exceptions where I'll travel outside of a couple of minutes around town here to look at somebody's vehicle is a long-standing customer. Well, his wife's car, a 2010 Volkswagen Jetta, I think it's a 2010. Anyways, it has a glow plug code. Pretty common on these Jettas, turbo diesels, and it's a diesel, so it has a glow plug instead of a spark plug. Basically, all we've got to do to determine whether it's the glow plug or part of the wiring or the harness is test for appropriate voltage at the harness when the glow plugs are supposed to be activated, and that's when it's running or when you have the key in the on position, warming the glow plugs up to start. It's not as common for the harness to be bad on these newer Jettas because they're individual, ran off of individual wires back to the main harness, whereas the older Jettas would run all the glow plugs off of one big harness. You'd have to replace the whole thing, and that was a common issue, but these ones are run individually. So we'll just check for voltage. If it has voltage, then we'll go ahead and replace that glow plug, and it should be pretty straightforward, pretty quick. So we'll get down there and get this figured out. All right, we just got this glow plug. We're gonna go down there, and aside from the glow plug, the guy was like, oh hey, one of my brake lights is out, if you could look at that one there. So they are out of town. I could do this pretty much any day, but I'm gonna be in Spanish Fork for another job, which is a town about 25 minutes south from here, about 30. And I said, hey, I'm gonna be down there today, so I'm gonna grab that glow plug on my way down there. And I got that brake light bulb somewhere. Hopefully it's in the back. Man, I've got a ton of stuff for today. Pretty busy day, and I think I've got probably about a free hour or two around lunch that I'm gonna try and play disc golf. There's a course down where I'm going that I like, and then I come back up here. I've got to do a high pressure fuel pump this afternoon, and then I've got a big paper due for one of my classes, and yeah, pretty busy. So we'll head down here to Spanish Fork. Well, I headed straight down here because there's pretty much one main exit for this town, and you always get off on this exit. Every time I come down here, I've gotten off the other exit like once. So I got off this exit, or I'm headed down here. I don't remember, then I realized I didn't have the address. So I called the guy real quick and had him send me his address so I could get here. We just got here. I'm assuming it's the car right behind me, but I know where the keys are, so we will grab the keys and make sure it's this vehicle. And then I'm not just trying to like pry open somebody's hood on some vehicle that's not expecting it. So here we go. Key here, let's just check. This is it. And maybe we can see which brake light it is, if that's the brake lights that flash here. No, both of those worked. So I'm assuming it's the brake lights. Maybe it's a reverse light. I just got brake lights, so we'll see. And we can check turn signals with the caution light here. Oh, those are the turn signal lights. Okay, those work. So it's probably brake lights. I'll see in a second. This road's a little bit busier than I thought, but let me just put a light out here so people see me. And then I'm just gonna verify. He said it was glow plug number 3, but I'm gonna verify that it's number 3 with my own scan tool before I go replacing a glow plug, and they had just got the wrong number. Okay, I'll just use this light, put it on red here, set it up behind that car. That'll work. Not super bright, but maybe good enough to get some attention. Perfect. Just a little extra piece of caution there. All right, give myself some room in here. And yep, it should be glow plug number 3. Hopefully it has a code right now. Sometimes stuff like this is intermittent and it'll have enough drive cycles to go away and then whatever. Oh, classic Jetta, that little plastic door handle is just popping out, and that's because they have an underwhelming amount of screws holding these in. This is all the force you put on the door to close it, and when they have like 2 small screws, they break easy. So, okay, on position here. Let's turn this on. Yeah, but ooh. The one thing about this scan tool is if I leave it on overnight, like just asleep in the truck, if I don't turn it off, you know, like shut the tool down, then it will almost die. It was fully charged yesterday, so that's something I forget occasionally, but we should have enough here to look at this, and then I'll plug it in. Okay, well, everything checks out in here, so I'm gonna go up front and test the harness for the glow plugs, and then if everything's good, we'll replace that. Yeah, you can see how many tools, extra tools I brought with me today. Should just need that for this job, and a multimeter just to verify that everything's cool. Here we go. This would be 1, 2, 3 right here. So, you know what? I don't know if that was actually plugged in all the way. Yeah, I guess it was. Everything up here checks out. You can also, if you have time, I mean, this is so far away that I said, hey, let me just test the wiring. If you're going to do it yourself, you could just swap 2 glow plugs and see if, you know, like a spark plug, see if the misfire, or the, you know, in this case it would be a code, switches from cylinder to cylinder. In this case, you know, it doesn't make sense for me to charge 2 travel fees and to do that and have them wait. So just tested everything else, and everything else is fine. So we're going to go ahead and pull out this old glow plug here. And not without removing the little sheath around that. All right, so I just got that sheath off of there. Basically, it connects to the end of these connectors here. The one on that one was pretty busted up. I don't think it was causing a bad connection, but in the future, I would definitely get one of those from the dealership as well. That's where I got the glow plug. I would just get both. There's little tabs on it that hook right in here, and all the tabs except for one were busted off. But anyways, there's a bit of those little tabs and stuff, that dried up plastic, dry rotted stuff sitting around down there, and you don't want any of that to fall down into the glow plug hole down into the cylinder. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean that up real well with some cleaner, and then we'll pull that out and put the new one in, and we'll be done here real quick. There's a little bit in there. I've got a real skinny screwdriver and some picks that I can work that stuff out with. All right, there's that. Go ahead and just loosen this up. It shouldn't be in tight. That's exactly what you would expect from these. They have less torque than a spark plug, so make sure, as I'm pulling this out, I'm just gonna look and make sure nothing else is in there. Yeah, now that I've spun that free, there's one more piece of plastic right there. I'm gonna go ahead and make sure I get that out. And this is what I'm looking at down here. Oh, and here's these little, here's the grommets that go around that have little hooks on the end of them. Again, in the future, I guess there's 8. There was only 1 on that one, so I'm gonna go ahead and tell him, hey, it's super easy to put one on there if you want, and if not, we'll just plan on getting him a new one if he wants us to come do that. But I think that's one of those things he can probably just pick up and push down on there. I'll just show him how easy that is. But yeah, definitely in the future, I'll just bring one and eliminate the headache and just include that in the service call and parts charge. All right, here's the old burned out plug. You can see, I mean, nothing super crazy, but just, yeah, but a little bit of carbon on the tip. That may be what's causing some issues there. And we'll want to go ahead and clean up that bowl there where the glow plug sits, and then insert the new one. And there's just a little bit of dirt sitting down in there that's not coming off with the spray. Could be stains, little pieces of, you know, rust spots. I'm not exactly sure, so I'm just gonna go ahead and wipe around down there with a rag And if it doesn't come up, it doesn't come up. But if it does, you know, we want to get all that cleaned up as we can. All right, that's pretty clean. It looks like it was just dirt. It's interesting that it didn't come off with the spray, but it's all right. Go ahead now then and put that one in, connect it up. This will be a job well done, with the exception of wanting to put a new grommet around that. Okay, pretty quick little job here to service these. Volkswagen made it easy. Okay, don't want to over tighten those. We will pull the little protector off of the tip of that. There we go. Discarded that, and we'll plug it in. Should be good to go. That's a job well done. Okay, I cycled the key a few times, started the vehicle. That code didn't pop back up. It may be one of those long determining codes that you have to go through like 15 drive cycles or whatnot. So we'll just see. The customer's always free to check back with me if that code comes back on. But that should be everything. I don't expect there to be any issues. So just cleaning this up and get on to the next one. I've actually also got to do an inspection later today, so one more thing.